Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Mandeep from Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar. Today we are going to talk on the module Overview of Business Environment from the paper Business Environment. By the end of this module, you will be able to understand and define the concept of business environment, describe the features of the business environment, delineate the importance of business environment, and understand the various factors affecting the business environment. Business does not work in a vacuum. It is influenced by the environment in which it operates, and at the same time, it also affects the environment. Business environment comprises all the conditions, external and internal, to an organization which affects its every aspect, be it economic, political, social, legal, technological, and so on. So term business environment is a combination of two words, business and environment. What is a business? It is associated with performing the activities in the form of production or purchase of goods or rendering services with the motive of earning profit. In general, environment is the aggregate of conditions that influence the community or the circumstances that surround someone. Business environment. Business environment represents an aggregate of all the conditions, events, and factors that surround and influence the decision-making capabilities of the business. Every organization performs under the influence of external and internal forces. The internal factors are the controllable factors, where a business can exercise control over the internal factors like company's objectives and strategies, its financial, physical, and human resources, etc. The external factors, on the other hand, include the forces which are beyond the control of the business, and they significantly affect every aspect of the business enterprise. For example, social, cultural, demographic, political, economical, legal, international, or global environment. Environmental changes are so rapid that they have direct as well as indirect implication for any kind of business. These changes bring opportunities as well as threats. The survival and the success of any organization depends upon how quickly it adapts to the changing environment. Definition of business environment. Different authors have defined the term business environment in their own way. According to M. Weimer, business environment encompasses the climate or set of conditions, economic, social, political, or institutional, in which business operations are conducted. According to Baird O. Wheeler, business environment is the total of all the things external to the business firms and industries which affect their organization and operations. In the words of Perry and Anderson, business environment is the sum of those inputs to an organization which are under the control of other organizations or interest groups, or are influenced by the interaction of several groups such as economy. Now, on the basis of the different definitions, we will explain the features of business environment. Business environment is an inherent part of the business. Business requires a good framework of economic, legal, political, socio-cultural factors to perform its work smoothly. Secondly, complexity. Business environment has become extremely complex nowadays as it is governed by both internal and external forces. The external changes are the rapid one and are highly unpredictable, while internal changes can be predicted to some extent. Business environment is dynamic. It is actively changing, and such proactive attention to the changes allows any business to flourish. Changing customer preferences, competitor strategies, technological improvements, and operating business in many countries are the major challenges in today's business environment. Another one is uncertainty. Risk is an inherent feature of business, especially the external forces. They bring challenges, risks, and uncertainty to the business. Business environment is multidimensional. For some businesses, environmental change is welcomed as an opportunity, while for some others, it is taken as a threat. Importance of business environment. The internal environment helps the firm to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the business enterprises in terms of global developments. The forces of external environment help the firms to identify the various opportunities and threats to the business. Business environment helps the firms to formulate their own strategies after analyzing what their competitors' strategies are. A proper understanding of internal and external forces of environment enables the enterprises to identify the areas for growth and expansion of their activities. Understanding the interaction of business with the environment also helps the organization to formulate its broad strategies and long-term policies that should match with what are the needs of the society. Environmental understanding enables the business enterprises to adapt itself as per the dynamic changes, conditions, or events of the environment. Factors affecting business environment. As said earlier also, that there are two sets of factors, internal and external, which influence any kind of business. So the diagram is also showing that any business decision is being influenced by the internal as well as external environment. Now those components of external and internal environment have been explained in the form of this flow diagram. That is, in external environment, we have two kinds of broad environments. One is micro environment, another is macro environment. In micro environment, we have customers, suppliers, competitors, market intermediaries, and public. On the other hand, in macro environment, we can have economic environment, social and cultural environment, political environment, legal environment, demographic environment, technological environment. The other component of business environment, that is internal environment, it consists of various factors, that is organizational culture, vision, mission and objectives of the organization, top management structure, human resources or employees, company's image, and miscellaneous factors. Internal environment. Internal environment refers to all the internal factors that outline the strengths and weaknesses of an organization in relation to its external environment. Internal environment represents the world inside an organization. Internal factors are always controllable factors, and organization can alter, modify, introduce or phase out the factors as per its requirement and as per the requirements of the environment. Internal environment includes the factors which has the considerable degree of control, like manpower or human resources, organization structure, organization culture, location of the organization, company's image, etc. Now we shall talk in detail about the components of internal environment. The very first one is the organization culture. What is a culture? Culture of an organization refers to values, style, and learned ways that shape the collective behavior of humans within an organization. Employees performing work in business enterprise hold some value system that influence their working languages, ethical standards, the working style, and mutual interaction. A healthy culture shared by all within an organization promotes mutual cooperation and provides satisfaction among all employees, which act as a great internal strength of the business firm. Another important component of internal environment is vision, mission, and objectives of the enterprise. Vision, mission, and objectives of a company provide a roadmap that guides its philosophies, priorities, and policies, like how the business will go in future. For instance, Walmart stores, their vision is to become the worldwide leader in retailing, while their mission is to help the people save money so that they can live a better life. Top management structure is also one of the important feature or the factor you can say for the internal environment. Top management supports the growth of any organization. The composition of board of directors and the extent of the professionalism of the management greatly affects the success and failure of an organization for achieving its vision, mission, and objectives. Experienced top management facilitates quick and wise decision making that also acts as internal strength of an organization. Then comes the human resources or employees or workforce. Workforce is considered as a greatest asset of an organization because it plays an important role both in the strategy implementation and the management system. A committed and talented workforce with leadership skills ensures the success of a business enterprise. Company's image is another internal factor. Company's image is more than its colorful logos, artistic design, and creative website, etc. The image perceived by the mind of the customer conveys a lot that influences the sales and profitability of an organization. Launching of the new products, attracting the potential customers, restraining the competitive attacks, raising the finance, forming the joint ventures. These are some of the things which greatly depends upon the company's image. Brand equity can prove the greatest strength of the company in the form of brand loyalty or repeated sales. So this is how we get the loyal customers. Now, apart from the factors discussed above, there are certain miscellaneous factors which come in the internal environment, which include natural resources, that is adequate access to the natural resources such as water, wood, iron, coal, mineral deposits, etc. They are considered valuable, which are available for commercial disposal. Then comes financial resources. Money or finance available in the form of cash or securities held by an organization is a very prominent criteria to determine its real internal strength. As it is said, finance is the lifeblood of any business. Then comes the physical resources. Physical resources include the production facilities like machinery, IT equipments, vehicles, distribution networks, physical infrastructure, etc., which are available within an organization and are required for the smooth running of the business. Nowadays, in the competitive era, another very important factor is research and development capabilities of an organization. The firms which are investing in the research and development activities, they ensure the innovative new products for meeting the diverse customer satisfactions and expectations. In spite of all these factors, certain other factors are also important, like location of the business, patents and trade secrets, operational capabilities and structure, which form an important part of the business internal environment and influence the functioning of the business. Now, the second component, that is external environment. External environment connotes that fall outside the organization boundaries and beyond the control of the business enterprise. The external environment forces are an extensive and multidimensional phenomenon. It represents the world outside the business, which has a direct bearing on the functioning of the business. External factors are uncontrollable factors that can offer opportunities as well as pose threats to the business. According to Renchi and Skoll, the environment of business consists of all those external things to which it is exposed and by which it may be influenced directly or indirectly. William Gluck and Jog define external environment as in environment there are external factors which constantly bring opportunities and threats to the business firm. It includes social, economic, technological, and political conditions. Now, this external environment is composed of two broad kinds of factors, that is microenvironment and macroenvironment. Now, what is microenvironment? According to Philip Kotler, the microenvironment consists of factors in the company's immediate environment which affects the performance of the business unit. These include suppliers, marketing intermediaries, competitors, customers, and the public. According to Hill and Jones, the microenvironment of a company consists of elements that directly affect the company, such as competitors, customers, and suppliers. In microenvironment, the very important aspect is the customer. In today's competitive environment, to attract and to retain the customer has become a very challenging task. In order to satisfy the different needs, tastes, preferences, and likings of the customer, business houses spend heavily on consumer research, designing of the product, advertising, and after-sales services. Depending upon a single customer can prove risky for an organization. Customers include individuals and households, industrial and other commercial establishments, and government and other institutions. Choice of the customer should be done considering the relative profitability, dependability, stability of the demand, growth prospects, and extent of competition prevailing in the market. In competitive market, where the choices to the customers are abundant and they have more power to control the market, big MNCs are also striving to retain the foreign customers. The second important microenvironmental factor is the supplier. Suppliers provide the resources needed by the company, like labor, material, storage, and credit facility. A reliable source of supply ensures quality, input material, less ordering and carrying cost, minimum buffer stock that further reduces its cost of carriage and insurance charges. Depending upon a single source of supply can again prove risky for a business house, especially during the contingencies like strike and lockout situations. The wrong choice of the supplier can cause the company to lose cost advantage benefit as well as loss of trust among its customers. Competitor, a very important aspect. Business gets affected by the action and reaction of its competitors. Healthy competition between the rival firms derives innovation that expands its product range in order to build a better relationship with the customers. Competitors analysis is very crucial for any business in order to identify its own weaknesses as against its competitors, even to identify what are the weaknesses of the competitors and to formulate strategies to combat such competition. The competitive environment ensures availability of desired products to the consumers at affordable prices in order to get bigger market share. Market intermediaries. For a business, it is difficult to make products available to each and every segment of the customer. Thus, an intermediate agency which connects the company and the final consumer is very crucial for the promotion, selling, and distribution of goods and services. Market intermediaries include agents, brokers, wholesalers, retailers, and other distribution companies which help the business house to make the products available to the existing customers as well as to find the new customers. Reliable channel of distribution provides timely feedback of the customers about the products, which is very essential for the strategic policy formulation in the future. Apart from promotion of companies' products, market intermediaries also provide feedback regarding unfulfilled demands of the customers and even the untapped market by business unit, which can become the source of innovation and new product development. Public, another component. According to Philip Kotler, a public is any group that has an actual or potential interest in or impact on company's ability to achieve its objectives. The environmentalists, consumer protection groups, media, local people, student unions, religious groups, etc. can affect the working of any business. Good public relation helps to get favorable response related to the organization, whereas adverse situation can pose a threat to the business. Now, the second component of external environment, that is macro environment. It is also known as general environment. As per Philip Kotler, macro environment includes the forces that create opportunities and pose threats to the business units. It includes economic, demographic, natural, technological, political, and cultural environments. Hill and Jones define macro environment in their own way. According to them, the macro environment consists of the broader economic, social, political, legal, demographic, and technological setting within which the industry and the business units are placed. Now we shall be discussing about the various components of macro environment. The very important from them is economic environment. Economic environment refers to all the factors related to the areas of production, distribution, income, and wealth which have a bearing on the function of the business. Economic environment may put constraints and may offer opportunities to the business. For example, with the easing of investment caps and controls, India's high-value industrial sectors like defense, construction, railways, etc. are now open to global participation. The main factors which affect the economic environment are economic conditions. Now, what are the economic conditions? The economic conditions of a nation refer to the set of economic factors that have great influence on the business organizations and their operations. Some of the aspects of economic conditions are GDP, that is gross domestic product, GNP, gross national product, balance of trade, balance of payment, inflation, poverty, savings and investment, international debt, per capita income, foreign exchange reserve, foreign trade and capital market, etc. Now, another factor which impacts the economic environment, economic policies. All the business activities and operations are directly influenced by the economic policies framed by the government from time to time. The various aspects of economic policies are industrial policy, fiscal policy, monetary policy, foreign investment policy, export-import policy or EXIM policy. The third one is the economic system, that what kind of system is prevailing in the country. The word economy is primarily governed by three types of economic systems, that is capitalist economy, socialist economy and mixed economy. Like India has adopted the mixed economy system, which implies coexistence of public sector and private sector. Another component of macro environment is social and cultural environment. Social environment consists of the customs and traditions of a society in which the business is running. Culture refers to the knowledge, beliefs, art, morale, law, customs, habits, and capabilities of the individuals acquired from the society. The social cultural environment of a nation determines the value system of the society, which in turn affects the functioning of the business. Various aspects of social and cultural environment are the social customs and traditions, the values and beliefs, ethical standards, work ethics, language, conflict and cohesiveness, quality of life, birth and death, education or literacy level, consumption habits, family structure and human relationship, etc. Political environment, another component of macro environment. Political environment constitutes all the factors relating to the government affairs, such as the type of government in power, the attitude of the government towards different groups of society, the policy changes, etc. The political environment has a close relationship with the economic system. Important economic policies like industrial policy, policy towards a foreign capital and technology, fiscal policy, foreign trade policy, etc., are often the political decisions. The various aspects of political environment are the present political system, constitution of the country, government interventions in the business, profile of the political leaders, foreign policy of the government, ideology of the political parties, etc. For example, India improved its position from last year's 134 to 130 in the World Bank Business 2016 ranking. Legal environment. Legal environment constitutes laws and regulations passed by the Parliament which can never be overlooked by any businessman, as he has to perform the business transactions within the framework of the legal environment. There are various legislations that concern the business enterprise. Some of them are Companies Act 2013, Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999, Factories Act 1948, Industrial Dispute Act 1972, Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, Trademarks Act 1999, Consumer Protection Act 1986, Environment Protection Act 1986, Competition Act 2002, and various other acts. The legal environment provides the opportunities to the businessmen along with putting on some constraints. Demographic environment is another component of macro environment. Basically, demographic environment involves the study of human population living in that area. Its study provides the base for decision making and policy formulation. Various aspects of demographic environment are the size of the population, density of the population, location, age, gender, jobs, income level, lifestyle, and education of the people, etc. For example, Census 2011 data shows that India's working age population between 15 to 64 years is 63.4% of the total population, as against 60% in the year 2001. India is poised to become the world's youngest country by 2020 with an average age of 29 years and account for around 28% of the world's workforce. The ILO, that is the International Labour Organization, has predicted that by the year 2020, India will have 116 million workers in the age bracket of 20 to 24 years as compared to China's 94 million. Technological environment. What is a technology? Technology refers to changes taking place in the methods of production, use of the new equipment and machinery to improve the quality of the product. There are various aspects of technological environment like innovation and improvements, scientific improvements, development in IT sector, import and export of technology, technological advancements in computers, etc. For example, internet and telecom system changed the whole world. The phenomenal growth of the internet and associated World Wide Web has made e-commerce possible, allowing the businesses to communicate and collaborate beyond their borders. That may be through Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. So the businesses can stay in touch with the customers and provide them the help to solve their various problems. Mobile devices like smartphones and tablets combining with the power of internet have revolutionized the way we work. The result is greater productivity and efficiency. This calls for substantial investment in research and development in order to remain competitive in the world of the business. So the students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. From the foregoing discussion, it can be concluded that there is a strong relationship between business and environment. All the factors comprises internal and external have an impact upon the business decisions. For the survival and success in this competitive environment, no firm can afford to ignore changes occurring in the relevant business environment. Business houses are required to keep themselves updated about the specific changes that can pose threat for the business. It is very clear that the business environment is a mixture of complex, dynamic, uncertain and uncontrollable factors within which a business operates, and with the help of the internal factors, the company tries to identify new ways to rectify the external environmental problems. Thanks.